All right, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be working in Onshape and also working on reading a drawing. More specifically, we want to create a part from the sheet and emulate it in Onshape. Now before we move on, don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to the channel, and also to stay up to date in the ongoings of education and what we've got going on in this channel. Don't forget to click the bell to turn on notifications. Alright, so as far as the part that we're going to be working with today, we are going to be working with the bucket arm. I know it looks complex, but one thing that we've learned is to break down complex shapes into simpler ones, so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start with a sketch on the front plane. So I'm going to select Sketch and select my front plane, which I can click here or I can click here. I'm going to select it since that's where my mouse is. You can see we have a sketch on the front plane, and now I'm going to click on the front side of this die. Now that I'm here, I'm going to select a corner rectangle, and that's what I'm looking at here is this rectangle, and I'm going to start with a general shape. I'm going to click here at my origin and click once more out here. It doesn't matter where I click, as I'm going to manually enter in my dimensions. So this first dimension here at the bottom is going to be 2.125, enter. This dimension here vertically is going to be 1.0. Great. Alright, the next part that we're going to attack, we've got a diagonal here. One thing that we are given is the distance of the top side before it starts slanting diagonally. So I'm going to use this information, select the line tool, start from the lower left corner, and I'm going to draw this. Now, specifically, do I know the length of this hypotenuse to this triangle? Not currently. So I'm going to place this anywhere on the line, except in this center square. I don't want to constrain my line, or else I'll have trouble dimensioning it later. So I'm just going to click here, and I'm still attached to my line, so I'm going to click Escape, and I'm there. I'm now ready to dimension. So if you'll follow my mouse up to the toolbar, here's the Dimension tool. We're going to click that and define this distance here, which is this edge to this edge would be 1.125. So like I said, this edge to this edge we want to be 1.125. Awesome. Our next and final part is this rounded edge. After we complete this rounded edge, we'll have a good two-dimensional view that we can work with. So for our rounded edge, I'm going to use the three-point arc. I'm going to click in this upper right corner, click this lower right corner, and then move my mouse out to the right until the center of my circle snaps onto this line. Then I'm going to click again. The radius 0.5, our radius is 0.5. I'm going to press Escape. Our last thing that I can do before we extrude, looks like this circle has a diameter of 0.375. I'm going to go ahead and put that in here rather than extrude or remove it in a second, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to click this center dot, move out. Again, it doesn't matter where I click because I'm going to manually type in 0.375, enter. And that's awesome. We've got everything that we want from this sketch set before we extrude. And oops, I accidentally right click there. I'm going to click my green check mark. Now I'm going to select Extrude, but before I do, I need to verify my depth. My depth of extrusion is going to be 0.5. So I'm going to select Extrude, go ahead and type in my depth, 0.5, enter. I'm going to select my entities to extrude, which is going to be this large center part and this right semicircle. I don't want the inner circle and I don't want this triangle. Alright, so I've clicked on both of those. Click my green check mark. Let's get some rotation to see what we've done, and looks about right. Now what's left is we have to create and dimension these 3 holes here on the side. Now see there's one hole that has a diameter of 0.25 and a depth of 0.5. We also have 2 holes with a diameter of 7/64 and a depth of 0.25 times 2. So that's for both of those holes. Let's go ahead and click into our top view. I'm going to select Sketch, and first we're going to do our larger circle on this top plane here. Let me zoom in. I'm going to select Center Point Circle, and I don't want to dimension this twice, so I know that this is in the center. So I'm going to use this yellow line, constrain to this box, and then use the guideline to guide the center point of my circle. And once again, our diameter is going to be 0.25. Enter. Awesome. Now we can dimension the center point of this circle to this edge is 0.75. So I'm up on my dimension tool. Like I said, the center of this circle to this edge is 0.75. Enter. Awesome. We've got what we need from the top view here. What's left is to extrude. We have a depth of 0.5, so I'm going to select my extrude tool, remove, depth, 0.5, enter, and I'm going to select this circle right here and select my green check mark. Now, if you believe the Earth is flat or you don't believe the dimensioning tool on its own, go ahead and just move it a bit, and you can see that that hole has been extruded and removed. All right, our next step here is these 2 smaller circles, which we're going to follow basically the same strategy in that we're going to sketch and select this diagonal plane. I do want to zoom out for a second just to show you that sketch is directly in line with that diagonal plane. All right, so now we're going to put our 2 circles here. Center point circle, and I'm going to use the constrain guideline feature. So I'm here, and my circle this time is going to be 7/64 or 7/64. Enter. We've got 1. You can see it's blue, so my circle tool is still selected. So I'm going to go to this box, not do that. I'm going to go to this box and use my guideline and not click on that box. Here we are. 7 divided by 64. Enter. We can trust that both of these center points are lined up with each other. Awesome. Now we've got to dimension. Now the center point of each one of these circles is 0.375 away from the edge. So we're going to dimension that on both sides. Like I said, the center point of this circle, which be careful, don't click the entire shape. You want to click not the circle, but the center point is 0.375 away from that edge. And this center point from this center point distance is also 0.375. Enter. Awesome. So we're here to our last step, which is to extrude. We have 0.25 times 2. We can faintly see our circles here. I'm going to select now, extrude, remove, depth, 0.25, enter. Now I can select my 2 circles, 1, 2, green check mark, verify my circles. Back in my isometric view, let's give it a spin. And our work here is complete. In this video, we learned how to extrude, remove, and dimension. If you did have trouble following along with the video, you can always start from the beginning, pause when you need to, and also adjust the playback speed. If the speed was too fast or too slow for you, you can adjust accordingly. Otherwise, thank you for joining us in this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications. Have a great day.